Hi everyone, it's Tasha. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Well, hello and thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you several different thrift items that I sourced, but I wanted to start things off with a DIY. I'm going to be refreshing these lampshades on my sconces in a very cost-effective way that I suspect a lot of you will appreciate. So I have my shades off, and what I'm going to be doing is recovering these by actually using a fancy napkin. Now I picked up this pack from Home Goods. It was $5.99 as you can see for all of these, and this was a set of 32. So there's plenty for extra and to actually use for my $6 worth. But I saw this idea on Instagram, and I will link to the post where I initially saw it, but she was using a pleated lampshade that she bought, which is a great idea too, and honestly probably easier to get a lot of different patterns onto a pleated one where you're folding it into each one. But for this one, since it's a solid surface, I'm going to do it slightly different, and I've already opened up one of my napkins. I really like this pattern because it's a nice neutral, but it has a print, so it's going to make things more interesting. And I read that what you're supposed to do is to go ahead and take off this top layer because you only want to be using the very thinnest layer for this. So I'm going to separate these. Now, since I've seen a version of this several different ways, I've seen people use regular school glue, I've seen people use Mod Podge to attach. I'm gonna try something different just because I want to kind of get this on in one fell swoop, if that makes sense. I'm going to kind of just put my adhesive, leave some at the bottom so that I can tuck it up under so it'll look nice and neat. But I basically want to just press this and go as far around as I can in one swoop. So I thought I'm going to try this spray adhesive, and I was not familiar with this brand, but I picked this bottle up for just $1 at the thrift store, and I have already used it on something, so I know that it's still, you know, in date. It's definitely still usable. So you could use something similar to this, and that's because I just want to be able to spray it and quickly put it over the whole thing. It says it's repositionable though, so and I do remember you can kind of move it slightly afterwards, so that seems like it'll work for me. This napkin's gonna go not quite all the way around, and because of the curve and the taper of it, it's gonna leave a little triangle at the back. I'm just gonna fill in that little triangle that's going to be left over in the back with another piece. I don't think that you'll be able to see it, especially with this pattern that I've chosen. And the more I read up on this particular adhesive spray, which is called Stencil Ease, I think it'll be perfect for this because it's supposed to be able to be removable without leaving any adhesive behind. So it'll be really great if I decide to change this napkin out and change my shades to a different pattern later on. So that'll be the perfect product for me. I was a little nervous about getting this on straight, but it ended up being very easy to do and I didn't really have any problems. I would recommend, if you're going to be trying this, to do it outside, especially if you're using a spray adhesive, and also make sure you're doing it on a day without much breeze. But otherwise, I really didn't have any problems. It went on really smoothly. I was able to just simply go back and do another little spritz around the back side and press the back side in, and then go in with a little triangle shape and just fill in the gap that was left at the back. One tip if you're going to be trying this is when you're cutting off the excess at the bottom and top of your napkin, make sure you go as straight as possible. It seems easy to cut it straight so that it will end up being a straight fold that you can bend over. However, it's a little tricky when you're going around a curved surface, so just take your time. Try and make that as even as possible so that your seam at the bottom will end up seeming as straight as you can get it. I just used a little bit of the spray adhesive to fold these under and press them, but honestly, towards the second one, I ended up using just a regular school glue stick, and I think that that was a little bit simpler, so I might recommend that instead. I'm really happy with how these turned out. I think they look so cute. It was very easy to do, and using 2 napkins per shade, it ended up being less than 40 cents each to jazz these up. So I think this is a great project to try out, especially if you're going to be using a repositionable spray where you can take it off later and it won't harm your lampshade. There's really not much risk to it, and I find that the pattern just adds a lot of interest and charm to these little lampshades. Now, in addition to my normal thrift shops, I also headed over to the big flea market that goes on in Raleigh. I used to live in Raleigh, now I live in Durham, but Raleigh has this really, really large flea market that goes on every weekend, and it's really fun. It's almost a little bit overwhelming because there's so much to look at, but very interesting. Now, the prices are all from different vendors, so some are, always higher than I'm willing to pay, but I do find some interesting items and always come home with at least one or two things. This particular trip, I found lots of really pretty brass items that I thought were nice. I actually didn't end up bringing any of them home this time, but look how sweet this shell is. Definitely looks to me like something that you might find online at McGee & Co. right now. I think for that one, if I remember correctly, they were asking $30, but I keep my eyes out for things like carved wood accents, brass, just different things that I'm seeing on designer sites that I might be able to get a honestly more unique version here secondhand, and hopefully for less than it's going for online as well. I also like to look at ceramics, jugs, vases, all that sort of thing. I found this really pretty little Christmas ornament frame, and I also found this little bank that I used to have the same exact one in my room growing up, like my whole childhood, that little bank truck. So that was like a blast from the past. So one thing that I did bring home from the flea market was this beautiful crock, and I don't know if you can tell in this video, but it's got the most pretty blue-green tone to it. I'll show you in a different light in a minute, but I really love these sort of crocks, and when I'm not using them, I'm actually starting to collect them on the top of my cabinets. I do not have kitchen cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling, so I have a little gap there, and I like to kind of group them together, and I think that they look sweet, but I can also pull them down and use them as vessels. So I really like this one. It looks beautiful with these white flowers, which I'm swapping in for the springtime. And these are some of my favorites that I got from Michael's last year. I really love these. They look so good in clusters, and I like to keep these on the front door in a little basket. And they also look really sweet in this nice blue-green crock. I ended up paying $20 for this one. He was asking $30, but I noticed he had a similar one for $20 that he had just told me, so I kind of got up my courage and asked if he would do $20 on that one as well, and he did, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. And I also ended up bringing home that really sweet little picture frame ornament that I saw at the flea market. At the time, I thought to myself, oh, this looks just like something that might be sold on McGee & Co. I didn't realize that it actually was from Studio McGee line. So these were sold in packs of 3 that were about $40. I paid just $3 for mine. Now, another thing that I brought home from the thrift shops recently was this beautiful candle holder. I really love this speckled look of this one and the handmade nature of it. It actually is a handmade piece by C.B. Craven. It's a local artisan here in North Carolina where I live, and I only found one of these. It was $5.99. The tag has come off somewhere along the way, but it was $6. I really loved it. I didn't find 2, and I will say you can totally style a single candle holder, but in this case, I thought that I would make it into a little easy DIY lamp. And so basically I'm just going to be using this beautiful piece as the stand for my lamp. I have some of those rechargeable bulbs, and so all I needed to do was find a little flat piece. In my case, I'm using just a spare coaster that I had on hand, sitting a lampshade on top of it, and then using one of those little rechargeable bulbs, just sitting it down inside. So this makes a very easy and simple lamp that I can keep on my little console table here in my entryway. I think it looks so unique because it is unique. No one else has this exact setup, and just like that idea in general, maybe you have some candlesticks that you don't know what to do with, you could try and make a little lamp. One thing that I'm keeping my eye out in the thrift store recently, and I get so excited when I find or think that I found, is like carved wood pieces. I'm really into looking for those. This one caught my eye from across the store. I went straight to it. It was not actually carved wood, as you can tell. It is one of those resin pieces that's made to look like carved wood. Honestly, I still might have bought it if it didn't have that damage on the top corner for only $5, but I left it behind. I also found this little trivet sort of piece, this little riser. The thrift store, this was Goodwill, they had it marked for $20, which I thought was a bit much for a thrift store for such a small piece. This one from Magnolia, for example, is really beautiful for $45, but it is a good bit bigger than the one that I saw at the thrift store, and they were asking $20. I thought that was kind of high for a thrift shop. I did end up finding this piece though. Now this was a while back. I may have actually showed you all on a previous video, but just for some contrast, this piece was only $3 on the other hand. It is real carved wood and it is just beautiful, so that's more of an example of what I'm looking for. So I ended up leaving the $20 small riser or trivet piece behind, unfortunately. And I also wanted to share with you how my spring themed mocktail party went. So I mentioned this a few videos back because I was showing you some things I'd collected for it, like these decanters and a few little dishes that I mentioned I was going to be using at this party. Also this beautiful silver toned wastebasket that I said I was going to be using to display fresh cut flowers for a bouquet bar that I was going to do. So I'm going to show you how it went because so many of you asked to see once I finally did it. So the first thing I had to do was come up with some different mocktails that sounded lovely. So I did that and I printed off the recipes on some photos, which was the cheapest way to do it rather than cardstock. I mounted those around the cabinet doors above the area in my kitchen that I wanted to have my little mocktail bar, which was nice. I also made up packets, as you could see, that I could give the guests to take home with them. I had about 14 ladies come over, and so I just collected the different ingredients that they would need to make any of the mocktails and put them in some beautiful decanters as well as those jars that you saw above that. I also came up with some finger foods that were fancy and beautiful, but also very simple for me to get together, and my favorite was definitely this whipped goat cheese crostini. Anyway, I also went to Trader Joe's and picked up lots of fresh cut flowers. They have the best prices there from what I can tell of anywhere that I've looked. I got a bunch of those, put them in my dining room table in that silver bucket as well as another one, and that was what I called the bouquet bar. So near the end of the party, the ladies could go and gather the flowers that they like the most, make themselves a bouquet that they could take back home with them, and kind of keep that as a party favor. So all in all, it went really well. I also added a little game called Secret Mission, where you draw a secret mission from this jar and try to accomplish it during the party without being obvious, just for a little bit of fun. So thank you for checking on that. It went really well, and I hope that gives you some ideas for your own party. Well, that wraps it up for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button before you leave and leave me a comment letting me know what you enjoyed. Thanks for watching as always, and I hope that everyone out there has a fantastic week, and I'll see you at the next video.